Dying with Dignity Victoria, the Volunteer Witness Service. The process of applying for voluntary assisted dying is quite complicated and it takes a long time. Once a person asks for it, there's a lot of paperwork to fill out. The doctor supporting the patient will manage this paperwork, but at a late stage in the process, 2 independent witnesses are required. DWDV has compiled a list of members who've said that they're willing to be those independent witnesses. This is our volunteer witnessing service. So who's involved? Under the Victorian VAD Act, 2 doctors must confirm that a person is eligible for VAD. If they are eligible, certain forms must be filled out to actually get the medication, and these forms must be independently witnessed. The coordinating doctor manages the process of filling in the forms, and the witnesses listen and check that the doctor has clearly explained the process and that the patient understands and is making a fully informed choice. So what is the role of the witness? As a witness, your role is to come to an independent view of whether the patient is deciding to access VAD of their own free will. Also, whether they have decision-making capacity. That is, they have the mental capacity to understand what they're asking for and what the consequences will be if they do choose to take the medication once they get it. You then sign on the forms to confirm decision-making capacity and a freely made decision. You also need to sign that you are not knowingly ineligible to be a witness. A witness must be an adult over the age of 18. They can't stand to gain anything from the person's death, so, for example, being a beneficiary of their will. They can't be a manager in the hospital where the patient is or the aged care facility. And they can't be directly involved in the care of the patient. So, for example, the nurse who's caring for the patient could not be an independent witness. So if you do choose to be one of DWDV's witnesses and we contact you, what do you actually do when you get there? The DWDV office will let you know where to go and what time to be there. Do check that you have a mobile number for the contact person that you're to meet. This will usually be a nurse or a receptionist. Out of respect for the patient, please make sure that you're not late. Remember to leave enough time to park and then walk from the parking space to the facility. When you get there, inform reception that you are a witness for a patient applying for VAD and ask for your contact person. When you're taken to see the patient, the coordinating doctor will most likely already be there. Introduce yourself, let them know that you're there as a DWDV witness. If the patient is not too tired, look, do feel free to engage in gentle conversation. Just use your judgment about this. Allow the coordinating doctor to guide you and the patient through the process of filling in the forms. They are fairly complicated. The doctor should ask the patient things like, are you making this decision freely and voluntarily? They should explain to the patient what will happen after the forms have been submitted, how long it might take to get the medication, and how it will be delivered, who can be there with them if they do decide to take the medication. You should ask the patient, have other treatment options been discussed with you? How this might affect you. For most people, and I speak from personal experience, being a witness is a profoundly rewarding experience. Patients and their family members, if they're there, often say how grateful they are to have the option of voluntary assisted dying. But occasionally it can be distressing. Particularly the first time you do something like this, you may wish to take somebody with you so that you can talk about it after completing the signing process. Please let the office know if there's anything that you're unsure of, and in particular, if there's anything that you can think of we can do to improve this service. Finally, thank you so much for volunteering for the DWDV Volunteer Witness Service.